Hello and welcome to the Think It, Get It podcast. I'm your host, Noor Hibbert, and my job as a coach is to help you transform your life from the inside out. Having built a multi-six-figure business alongside being a mother to 3 incredible girls, I truly believe that you can achieve anything you put your mind to. Inside this podcast, I'll be showing you how powerful you really are and how to unfunk your own BS and reprogram your mind for extraordinary success. If you know you are meant for more, have ever asked the question, is this it? And are ready to really learn how to manifest like a mofo, then this podcast is for you. It is time for you to stop playing small, transform your life, and know at your very core that if you can think it, you can get it. All you gotta do is just effing do it. Hello, gorgeous humans, and welcome back to another episode of the Think It, Get It podcast. I'm your host, Noor Hibbert, and I just wanted to say a big warm welcome to all of my new listeners. I'm so excited to have you on this little piece of the podcast world. I'm actually going to present you with 3 episodes of the Become the Magnet training. I wasn't going to upload them to my podcast, but they were just so juicy and there was just so much incredible content in there that I've decided to put it on my podcast so you guys that perhaps missed the training can listen to it. So there's going to be 3 episodes, and in each episode I'm going to cover some incredible deep stuff around the manifesting method, the universe, energy, and we're going to go quite deep in these next 3 episodes. So today's is the first episode where we begin the Become the Magnet training, and it's all about really understanding the spiritual laws of the universe, energy, etc. Of course, expect a lot of swearing, but expect also a lot of light bulb moments and to feel inspired and motivated. I made a decision at the beginning of this year and actually more so probably in the very first quarters, the latter part of the first quarter, where I really made a decision that every single thing that I was going to do in my business was always going to be fun, was always going to be me dropping into flow and just having fun. And honestly, like, this week has been the most chill week for me. And it was interesting because I actually was quite sleep deprived this week because my darling Amira, she started nursery, and this was a huge milestone for me and her. And the only problem is that after a year of being locked up and sanitized and all of that jazz, she hadn't really been exposed to a lot of germs and bacteria. So of course she's gone to nursery and there's snotty children there, and she's caught a cold and a cough. So at the beginning of the week, I was up a lot in the night with her. She had a temperature and, you know, she was kind of a bit delirious and kept sleep talking and wanted me to hug her and all of that jazz. So this week, I was definitely quite sleep deprived at the beginning of this week. So it was really good that it was a really chilled week because I just completely chilled out in the day and felt so excited to deliver the trainings on each of the evenings. So without any further ado, let's get stuck into day 1 of the Become the Magnet training. And in the show notes, you can actually put your email in, and I will send you the guide and the workbook that goes along with this training so that you can have that as well, and any other information that you may need. So enjoy it, and I'll see you on the next episode for the second training. Welcome to the Become the Magnet training. So if anyone has not met me before, my name is Noor Hibbert, and I help people create freedom through mastering their mindset, mastering manifestation, and transforming their lives from the inside out. I truly believe that it is time for all of us to wake up, take life by the balls, and fucking live it. And I know for a fact that I have used what I teach you guys tonight to change my life, and I'm on a goddamn freaking mission to help change as many of your lives as possible throughout this training, and hopefully throughout the the rest of this year, next year, forever. Don't ever leave me. I like you all. And that's why I hold these amazing trainings. So I want you to see this Become the Magnet training like the pre-party. So we have the pre-party, which is going to be these 3 days. And I've got a little surprise for you guys in a minute. Anyway, anyone that downloaded the workbook's going to realize it's actually going to be more than 3 days. But I'm going to cover that in a second. We are literally, this is the pre-party. And towards the end of this week, on Thursday, I'm going to invite you to the after party. If you want to come to the after party, yay, wonderful. If you want to continue your journey working with me, brilliant. If you turn around and you're like, nah, I'm done, Nor. Computer says no, we part as friends. But I wanted to get you to come into my little world on the old wild, wild web, get to know you guys, get to share what I truly believe can help you, and then we'll just see where this relationship goes. Can't say fairer than that. So I'm going to deliver some really jam-packed days for you over the next few days. So get ready, get your pen and paper out, get a cuppa, get your notes, get ready for the party. I'm just going to have a quick check-in at some of the comments because there's a lot coming in that I can't see. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, cool. So let me get back to my, my slides quickly. So what is the agenda for today? Well, before we get into the agenda for today, let me scroll to the next screen. I want to talk about the fact that this week I'm holding a humongous competition, okay? So as I said before, this is the pre-party to the after party, but one of you guys is going to win. You're going to win a scholarship. So a 1 year free working with me inside of my signature membership called the JFDI Academy. It's named after my very first book, Just Effing Do It, which has been a bestseller 6 times now, which is amazing. It's in 8 languages across the world and has sold over 50,000 copies since I wrote it back in 2019. And so I'm going to be giving away lots of prizes. So for those of you that pay attention, those of you that implement, for those of you that take on board what I teach, for those of you that show up for yourselves, there's going to be a few amazing prizes. So I want to show you some of the prizes that I've got. So I've got some mugs to give away. Here's a Be Fierce in the Pursuit of What Your Heart Desires mug. I've got ones that say Dear Universe. I've got ones that say Manifest Like a Mofo. So I've got mugs to give away. I've got these absolutely incredible Manifest Like a Mofo pens. They're limited edition. You cannot buy them in the shops. These are for some winners of the people that joined this week. I've also got some spiritual badass tote bags. Here we go, modeled by me, made by eco-friendly, whatever it is. I've also got some Dear Universe notebooks, and I've also got copies of my signed copies of my book, Just Effing Do It, Just Fucking Do It, to give away as well. On top of that, the granddaddy of all prizes, which is of course the after party, is an invite, a scholarship to work with me inside of the JFDI Academy for the rest of the year. So you get a whole year for free for just participating in this week. And at the end of this week, you're going to be given a task and some questions to fill out, and everyone that fills in the questions gets put into a big raffle, and I'm going to pull those prizes out for you guys live on Thursday. Yes, did she just say Thursday? She said this was only 3 days training. Well, I want to cover 3 days training with you, and then on the Thursday we're going to have the finale. I'm going to cover some incredible manifestation hacks. There's going to be a bonus day. I'm going to be unveiling and inviting you guys to the JFDI Academy. So you want to be there on Thursday. Put it in your diaries. Do not miss out. You've got to be on live if you want to win the prize. That's the deal, right? So you've got to be on that live. So that's going to be starting off what we're going to be starting off with for this week. So I wanted to start off by explaining to you, it's a competition. You got to be in it to win it, guys. So participate and get involved. Just going to do a quick recce on questions and comments in the chat box because I have to flip my screens. Awesome. Yeah, can't wait to see some of you in the academy. Jackie says, yay. Is every day going to be the same hour? So yes, so every single day session is going to be exactly the same time, 7 p.m. every day UK time. And if you can't make all of the sessions, don't worry, we're going to be uploading them to YouTube. I will be embedding them on a web page. You'll be able to watch them there and catch up. So the replays aren't going to be there forever. So you need to catch up on them as soon as you can and go from there, okay? So don't worry if you have to work. Once again, you can catch up on the replays. So let's go and dive straight into the content. Okay, cool. So Tonight, we're going to be talking about energy. We're going to be talking about how the grandest, scaleless illusion that has ever been, okay? We're going to talk about that. Number 2, we're going to talk about the blueprint, the manifesting method, the 5 steps to manifesting anything that you want in your life. We're going to talk about the difference between law of attraction and manifestation. I'm also going to talk to you about the 12 laws of the universe and why they really matter in your life and how they're going to change your life, okay? But before we get to that, I think it's only fair that I do I'm going to make it a very quick introduction of who I am, why I'm here, what I do, and all of that jazz, all that crazy jazz. I'm just having a quick look at the comments because I can see people commenting. Awesome. So what happened in my life? So I want to just do a quick rundown of the last 35 years of my life. Let's see how quickly I can do this. Well, first and foremost, when I was 16 years old, I was really unfortunately diagnosed with depression. I really struggled with life. I was really thrown a few fucking, curveballs in my life. And by the time I got to 16, I was really struggling. I really didn't know what to do with my life. And at that point, the straw that really broke the camel's back for me was I was in a relationship with someone that was 5 years older than me. And he tried to commit suicide, and he told me it was my fault. And if I ever left him, he would do it again. And that was kind of the end of a series of really difficult times in my life, including being bullied, including finding out some really devastating information about friends of mine being sexually abused at 9 years old. And it was just a compound effect of these things that happened. By the time I got to 16 years old, I genuinely thought, if life is meant to be this hard, I really don't want to be part of it. I really found it difficult. After sort of that happened, by the time I got into my early 20s, I realized that I was suffering really bad with anxiety. I had gone to school. I went to a private school. My parents worked their fucking asses off. We couldn't really afford it to put us into private school, to go and get a good education, to go get a good job. And the honest truth is that I never fit in school. I was not academic. I was never the pretty one, the skinny one, the popular one, the sporty one, the academic one. I was painstakingly motherfucking average, right? At everything. I never really was part of the cliques at school. So I always felt like this outsider in my life. Anyways, so I went off to go to university, started my degree. And of course, I was like a fish out of water. I went to study psychology at university. I was really good at psychology. I enjoyed the fact that, we learned about the human mind, which of course, never in a million years thought I'd be doing this however many years later. But after I went to university, and after my first year, I'm on the phone to my mum begging her, please, I need to leave university. I can't do this. She said, no, you got to stay. You got to stick it out. You're going to do it. So what do you do when you're fucking confused with life? You want to run away. You just don't think you got given the lucky card in life. I went and became a Club 1830 rep. So I literally went and spent 6 summers abroad, getting absolutely hammered, getting off my face, just having this really fun life, escaping from the real life. And then quite luckily for him, really, I met this guest. He was, he was all right. Anyways, that guest is now my husband, my partner, 11 years later. But unexpectedly in January 2012, whilst I was kind of in the height of my Club 1830 career, I'd worked my way upwards, I fell pregnant with my first daughter, which was my biggest dream. My biggest dream in the world had been to be a mother. I didn't know what the fuck I was going to do with my career. I was too busy getting drunk, trying to figure out what the fuck to do with my life. But I knew I wanted to become a mother, but I never in a million years thought I was going to become a mother without my shit together. I thought I was going to become a mother when I had a job, a husband, and all of that jazz. And so it really wasn't that way. And so this then threw my anxiety to a whole new level. Here I was presented with bringing another human in the world, and I was a mess. I was mentally really not in a good place. I didn't know what I was meant to be doing in my life. And fast forward, her being born, amazing. Throughout her whole maternity leave, I was determined that I needed to figure out a way to be at home with her, because in the interim, before I gave birth to her, I went and got a job, a sales job. And honestly, my boss was a chauvinistic bastard. If you're watching me, you know who the fuck you are. He made my life hell. And I really believe that I went into early labor with my daughter because of the stress from that job and him. I'd come home crying every day. I was just not mentally a resilient person. I just wanted to fit in. I wanted to be liked. And so I was like vowed, like, what was I going to do? So I couldn't figure out what I was going to do. So I knew I had 9 months. I had 9 months to figure a way out so that I didn't have to go back to my job. At 14 months, when my daughter was 14 months old, I had to go back to that job because I had no fucking choice. I did not know how I was going to make money. We needed money. My husband was making, £1,400 a month, working as a bricklayer. And that's what we were living off. And I just knew I wanted more for my daughter. So I went back to my job with my tail between my legs. I tried to set up businesses. I tried to do stuff. Nothing worked. And here's a little tidbit. Nothing fucking worked in my outside world because internally I had become a victim of my own life. I believed everything was happening against me. I was quite negative. I was always on the outside quite a confident, happy person. But internally, I wasn't a happy person. I was anxious. I was always worrying about things. I never thought I was good enough. I didn't think I was skinny enough. I battled with my weight. I battled with my body, all of that jazz. So even though on the outside, you may have seen this kind of loud, bubbly person, back then that really was my mask for dealing with the fact that internally I really wasn't that happy and I hadn't been for a really long time. So fast forward, I went back to this job, and even though I'd spent the whole maternity leave trying to figure out ways to be at home, I couldn't because my mindset was in the gutter. It didn't matter what I tried to create in the physical world. Internally, I was rejecting, repelling, and self-sabotaging what was going on in the outside world. So Layla, my eldest daughter, Layla Rose, she was 14 months old. I took her to nursery. She was screaming and crying. And I remember just like the women going, no, just leave her. And I get into my car and I just literally freaking sob, right? I sob. And I remember thinking, I looked up at the sky and I went, if there's anything out there, please fucking help me. Like, help me. This is not what I wanted my life to be. This is not how I planned it to be a mother, leaving my child in nursery. She's crying. I'm going to a job that I don't even fucking like. Like, surely this isn't what life is meant to be like. Surely this is not what we're on this planet for. And I felt lost and I felt anxious and I felt sad. And I just didn't know what to do. And I'm going to kind of skip the next few years because, it took probably about 2 years from that moment of me crying, or 18 months from that moment of me crying, when I then became pregnant with my second daughter. And I started to kind of delve into the world of personal development. I started to dip my toes in. I started to read about stuff. I started to, listen to YouTube videos and watch stuff. And I'll be honest with you, I had read The Secret when I was 23 years old. Can you put a 1 in the chat box if you have read the book The Secret at some point in your life, okay? So I read The Secret when I was 23 years old. Okay, so this is like 6 years prior. And I remember I tried to do what they said, be positive, imagine, all of that fucking jazz. And I literally manifested nada, nothing. Can everyone just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me and you can see me, okay? Can everyone see? Yeah, okay, say Reddit. Okay, awesome. I can see people writing Reddit. Sorry, guys, I got off my screen, so I couldn't quite see what everyone was talking about. So, for me, I was like Billy Big Balls. I'd read fucking page 3, be positive, go manifest a car park. Legit, I couldn't even manifest a car parking space, right? I poo-pooed it. I was like, I really wanted it to work. I really wanted this to be the answer to my wishes. And the reality was that the book is great, but it misses out so much stuff that I'm going to teach you tonight. Okay. So where was I? Okay. So when I got to about 29 years old, I was pregnant with my second daughter and I went into early labor at 31 weeks pregnant. And I laid in my bed and I was like in the hospital and I said, please, baby, don't come out. Stay in. And so on that day, she did stay in, but I quit my job and I decided to set up my own business, my first business. And this was when I started doing mindset work. And I set up my first business and I made 6 figures in my maternity leave. And I was like, oh, I just blew my own fucking socks away. And then I really started to delve deeper into mindset work and I decided to train to become a coach. I became completely obsessed again with understanding the law of attraction and manifestation. And I really started to understand why I had been going wrong. And I started to piece together steps that started to work. Oh my fucking God, right? And I've got goosebumps like all over my body right now. When I think about that girl who pleaded to God knows what in the sky, I'm not religious at all, whatever it was, I pleaded with such deep desire to change my life. And when I look at that girl, never in a million fucking years would she have realized that just, God, I mean, that was 7 years ago now, or 8 years ago now, but now, to have made, well over £1 million in my business, to have got not just one, but now 2 book deals, to do TEDx talks, to be invited on BBC Radio 2 on the biggest radio shows, to be featured in magazines, to speak on stage alongside celebrities, to have celebrity clients, to completely be doing something that I love, whilst being mother to not 1, not 2, but now 3 incredible children. I always imagined having my own little Kardashian clan of just girls, having a little girl band, and all of this stuff happened, and I started to implement these steps that I was I'd realized were the steps to manifestation. I kept playing around with things, and I kept figuring out what is the fucking formula to making this work every single time, to changing my life, to help me become happier. And what happened for me was my depression went, my anxiety disappeared. And yes, okay, on occasion I get anxiety about things like, if my child runs across the fucking road or whatever. But, I don't get anxious about things that I used to get anxious about. I feel a sense of joy in my heart, a sense of fulfillment in my life. I have woken up and I have seen that everything that we've ever been taught about life by school, teachers, media, government, it's all rubbish. It's all designed to keep us small. And I, for one, didn't want to be small in my life anymore. I, for one, don't want you guys to be small in your life anymore. And I've realized that more and more that all the pain that I went through throughout my life has enabled me to step into my light, to help others, to have empathy for people that have suffered at a degree that someone that hadn't been through all of that stuff would be able to go through. So I'm so grateful for all of those experiences, all those times. So I can sit here and say to you guys, I know what it feels like to be on the floor crying, can't breathe, heartbroken, feeling like you can't figure out what the fuck to do with your life, to then in quite a short span of time, 5 years, to be looking back at that and thinking, wow, like who were you? And I wish I could have grabbed her and told her what I'm teaching you guys tonight, because I know this stuff works with every ounce of my soul. And I don't care if people are naysayers or eye rollers. I really, truly know this works if you're willing to listen, implement, and really understand. My story is just one of thousands and thousands of stories that I have read of people, probably even millions. I mean, I've not read millions of stories, but so many of people, and I know I get to experience that every single day. I wake up to just the most beautiful freaking messages on social media saying, Noor, your book has changed my life. Noor, your masterclass has changed my life. Noor, the JFTI Academy has changed my life. And I think, wow, like this really does work. So I'm super excited to help you understand tonight how you can become the magnet for what you want to attract in your life. Woo! Let's get into some meat and potatoes. So let's go. So let's talk about the difference between manifestation and the law of attraction. So the number one difference between manifestation simply means, to manifest simply means to see in the physical 3D world your desire or your dream or your wish. So your desire, your dream, your goal, when it has manifested in the physical world, you have manifested it. So once you have taken that incredible thought and you have activated it, and we're going to talk about this tomorrow, guys, in the goals. So tomorrow we're going to be going deep on step 1 on goal setting and why people do it wrong and how to do it right and all of that stuff. So I'm really excited about that because I fucking love it. It's the first most important, crucial step. If you get that wrong, everything else just falls on its tits. So we need to get that right. But once you've thought about something and it has manifested in the physical world, to be able to manifest simply means the art of taking your thoughts and putting them into physical reality. That is to manifest. So what is the law of attraction? Well, the law of attraction is one of the universal laws that governs how you manifest, okay? So the laws are the laws of the universe, the way the spiritual laws of the universe and how they work. When I talk about spirituality, guys, I really want to get something really clear with you guys. I am not religious. I don't teach anything religious. When I talk about being spiritual, when I talk about being spirituality, I am talking about connecting with the non-physical part of yourself. That's all to come in the next sort of 10 minutes. You're going to understand exactly what I mean by that. But it simply means a recognition and understanding that you are not just a physical body in a physical world doing physical things, that you have a non-physical part of you that is connected to a much bigger field of creative possibilities, and that when you connect to that, that is you freaking exercising your spirituality. And I don't know about you guys, but for me, spirituality is a new sexy. Women and men that can tap into their own potential and create their own lives and are confident about that, that to me is sexy as fuck, right? So I want you guys to understand, that I literally, the word spiritual made me freaking cringe. The word meditation made me cringe 5-6 years ago. I was like, nah. I had spent my whole goddamn life trying to be normal and trying to fit in. I didn't want to be weird. I didn't want to be kooky. I didn't want to wear bamboo trousers, and just cover myself in sage all day. What I come to realize that whilst all that stuff is actually quite nice, sage in the house, that is not what being spiritual is. You can be spiritual in a fucking sexy LBD wearing Louboutins and, drinking your mojito. You can be spiritual, in your tie-dye trousers or whatever. It doesn't matter. But when I talk about the spiritual laws of the universe, these are the laws that govern the order of the universe, okay? And we're going to talk about that in a second in a bit more depth. So the law of attraction is one of 12 laws. The law of attraction simply states that like attracts like. And we're going to talk about why that is, because one of the other laws of the universe is the law of vibration, okay? And the law of vibration simply states that every single thing in the fucking universe, every single thing is vibrating. We are made up of 7 octillion. Try and get your head around that fucking number. 7 octillion minimum vibrating atoms. Okay? Nothing in the universe is still. Nothing in the universe is static. We are consistently moving. Everything is vibrating. And so the law of vibration works in tandem with the law of attraction, because how you vibrate is what you then attract. And your level of vibration, you're able to tell that by the emotion that you're feeling. So when someone says, oh my God, no, she's so high vibe, or oh my God, no, she's so low vibe, it's because you can literally feel my vibration. Like, I'm just gonna ask something, guys. How do you feel right now, in this exact moment, here together with me? What do you feel in your body? I want you to take a moment to really just think about this. Just think about this. What do you feel in your body? Do you feel happy, excited, sad, angry because you wasted time with me? What do you feel? Oh, I love that. Bringing tears to your eyes. Oh, that's lovely. So you can feel me. The fact that whereabouts in the world you are, buzzing, energetic, says Katie, wherever in the world that you are, guys, we could literally be on the fucking opposite side of the world to each other right now, but you can feel me. Why? Do you know why? Because another one of the incredible laws of the universe is the law of oneness. The law of oneness. The law of oneness states that we are all one, that we are all connected to everything that there ever is, there ever will be. That in fact, the space between us is an illusion. There is nothing in between us. That energetic, you can feel me talking to you because we are connected on an energy level. The whole world is energy, the law of vibration. There is no difference between you or me. There is no difference between me and anything else that resides on this planet except for human consciousness, which we're going to talk about in a bit. But the law of oneness states that we are all connected, and the fact that you are here watching from wherever you are watching, wherever in the world, and you can feel my energy in your heart right now, is because we are connected, okay? So The law of correspondence. I'm going to talk about the law of correspondence. The law of correspondence states that your outer world will only reflect your inner world. Ooh, okay, guys. This is a big one. The law of correspondence means that the outside must always reflect the inside of your world. If you want to change something in your physical world, you must be willing to change what is going on in your inner world. The law of action, and I'm going to talk about this in the step 5 of the manifesting method. But the law of action states that we must take physical action in the physical world. In order for us to manifest our desires, we cannot sit on our asses watching Game of Thrones, eating Oreos, hoping and wishing that £1 million just falls from the sky into our laps. It doesn't work that way, okay? We must take physical action in the physical world. The law of cause and effect, such as the law of karma. What is reaped, what you sow. What you reap is what you sow. What you reap is what you sow. Couldn't remember that for a minute. It's the law of cause and effect. Everything in the universe, everything with cause, there is effect. Everything. This is one of the laws of the universe. The law of perpetual transmutation of energy. That's a fucking mouthful. This reminds me that we have the power to change our life when we decide to change it. This law shows us that nothing is static and energy is always changing. This is incredibly important. When you think a thought is energy, okay? And that energy, that thought energy wants to change into something. So you decide what that change is. When you decide how to control your thoughts, you learn how to manifest. When you learn to use your thoughts to create your physical world, you are activating the law of perpetual transmutation of energy. Law of compensation. This is similar to the law of cause and effect, but this law talks about the fact that when you give, you will receive compensation. When you serve, you deserve. That every single one of us has the power to manifest the abundance that we want in our lives, because it is a freaking spiritual law. No one human on this world deserves anything more than anybody else. We all are able to attract and create the abundance that we want. The only thing that is stopping us is how we feel inside. And by the way, I want to caveat this by saying, and I want to make sure that everyone understands this right now. There's a whole different conversation about people that are born in poor countries, and this is not a spiritual thing. This is unfortunately a human ego thing, and unfortunately humans that are driven by ego, driven by greed and power, have created a world like this because we have enough money to wipe out poverty in the world. So when I say to you, oh, you have created your life through your thoughts, I need you guys to understand that there's context in regards to what's happening in the physical world that affects people's context. So we have the responsibility as humans. This is why I do what I do. We have responsibility as humans that do have the freedom to make our own choices, that aren't bound by the context of our lives, to become the best version of ourselves, to create the abundance that we can, to help those that need it. That's how we give back to people. That's how we give back to our community and other humans. Because unfortunately, whether you like it or not, this world is ran by a very small percentage that unfortunately want to keep the majority small. So we gotta wake up and we gotta fight for our freedoms, and we gotta go out there and we gotta do big things with our own lives so that we can then make a bigger impact on others, okay? The law of relativity states that every single soul on this planet will face challenges from time to time, okay? So there's, the degree of the challenges we face is going to be in relative to the perspective that we have in life, okay? So this is really important as well. The law of polarity, the universal law of polarity, says there's always polarity. Where there's dark, there's light. Where there's wet, there's dry. Where there's up, there's down. Where there's left, there's right. There's always polarity and contrast in our life. So if you have down days, you will have high days. This is the law of polarity. So there's that there are always opposites in all of our life, but the universe is always here to serve us. And then of course, the law of attraction, which I've already explained, is the one that we're going to talk about today. It's the one that gets the most PR. It's like the law of attraction, like the best publicist. And it basically, in simple form, says your vibration attracts or repels what you want in your life, okay? So the law of attraction. So the thoughts that we have, we are a magnet for our desires, but what we magnetize to us will depend on how clean, how energized our magnet is. And at any given point in the day, we're always attracting or repelling stuff into our life. But what most people do is they go through life completely unconsciously attracting, repelling stuff. And what I want to teach you guys inside of this training is how to become the magnet for your desires. So we are energy. We live in an energetic universe. Quantum physics has proven, Albert Einstein has proven that we are not solid matter. You may hit your arm and say, no, what do you mean we're not solid? Of course I'm fucking solid. You're batshit crazy. Nah, I'm not batshit crazy. If we got the world's biggest, most, strongest microscope, you would see that once again, you are 7 octillion vibrating atoms. You are not static, okay? But what makes us be able to see our physical energy, our physical body, is the fact that it's vibrating at a lower frequency that the human eye is able to detect. However, wait for this, the human eye is only able to detect the visible light spectrum, which is 0.05% of the light spectrum. Just let that fucking sink in. Our physical eyes can see less than 1% the visible of the light spectrum, which is mind-blowing. So if we can only see this tiny, teeny, weeny part of life, for anybody to say, oh, don't believe it, can't fucking see it. No, you're right, you can't see it. You can't see jack shit about what's going on in this universe. So any of us to naively think that we know it all is ridiculous, okay? The reality is that you cannot see electricity, but holy shite, it will kill you, right? It's powerful. You cannot tangibly see or measure gravity, but we know that it's there holding us to the earth. There are so many incredible energetic forces working around us. There is something so intelligent, a level of intelligence that makes the sun rise and the moon come down, and the moon rise and the sun come down. The tides come in and the tides go out. A level of intelligence that takes tomato seeds and make them tomato plants, and maple seeds into maple trees, and oak acorns into oak trees. There's a level of intelligence that creates natural disasters, that keeps our world spinning 365 days a year, that has created a galaxy. So for anybody, I don't care what you want to call it, but for anybody to sit here and be like, we are here by accident, just a big bang, and I can't really explain what all this is happening. But there can't be a law of attraction. We can't possibly use our brains. That, by the way, let's be honest, it takes a very quick Google search, and you will find very quickly Nobel Prize winners of science saying, we know very little about the fucking human brain. They wouldn't swear. They're too posh for swearing. They're too la-di-da. Scientists don't swear. But they will tell you that they know such a teeny-weeny amount about what the human brain can do. So for anyone, for Billy Bob to come up to me and be like, this is a load of shite, I'm like, how can you say that? You are so stuck in the 3D world that you have become so disconnected from the fact that there is a lot going on around you that you're never going to understand. In fact, some of the most cleverest scientists, cosmologists, physicists, philosophers have not found these answers. So everyone, we gotta just believe and have faith and realize we don't know it all. We do not know it all. So when I tell you that I have manifested all this stuff, I can't tell you how or why. I can tell you that I know with absolute faith it works, because I have got the most ridiculous stories time and time again of stuff happening. And I really want you guys to know that you don't need to believe, you don't need to try and find a logical answer. Our little left-hand logical brain, it's not going to find answers, because if the best scientists in the world can't find answers, we're screwed, okay? So let's not find answers. Let's just bloody implement it and let's see our lives change. That's the best way that I think it. So we have a physical body and we have a non-physical body, okay? So I want you to imagine, the best way that I try to explain this is, let's take the Big Bang as a good example, okay? In fact, let's use this example. Okay, so I use this in my new book. So let's use this. Okay, imagine the ocean represents this big creative field of incredible energy, and it's this let's call this consciousness. Okay, because what separates you and I from, you know, this glass of water, which I'm gonna have a sip of now. This glass of water is made up of the same atoms that we're made up of. There's actually nothing different from physically, under a microscope, we're the same, okay? What differs from this and me is the life force bringing me to life, the life force that brings plants to life, brings, you know, flowers to life, brings animals to life, all of that jazz. The difference that we have as humans is we have something called human consciousness. So I want you to imagine this big ocean of human consciousness. And imagine you pour a bit of that ocean into a bucket. That bucket represents our physical body. And that consciousness inside that bucket. You've got red buckets, white buckets, broken buckets, dented buckets, loppy buckets, big buckets, small buckets. But we're all just living in little buckets, okay? And imagine that the Big Bang represented this consciousness banging into all these tiny little pieces of consciousness. This consciousness is flying through eternity. And every so often it's like quite fancy joyriding in a human body for the next 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 years if you're lucky. And so this human body and this consciousness merge. And that's when a child is born. And the reason that we cannot see the non-physical part of us is because it's vibrating at a different level to our physical body. So I like to kind of make this simple for you guys to understand. Number one, we have a physical body and we have a non-physical body. And that is what we can call our consciousness, our higher self, whatever you want to call it, okay? Then our physical body has a brain, okay? So, sorry, let me talk our mind. Sorry, I'm looking at all the comments coming in, and I'm just going to do a quick recce before I actually move on. Just to make sure everyone can hear me and see me okay before I carry on. Yeah, Divine Craig. Okay, yeah. Okay, cool. I just wanted to just check and everyone can hear me and see me okay. That's fine. Okay, let me just go back to my slideshow quickly. So the way that I like to see it, you've got a physical body and a non-physical body. So just imagine this right now. You've got a physical body that is black and you've got your non-physical body, which is pink. Just like create a visual in your mind. Then you've got a mind, okay? But our mind, I like to see this once again as two entities, a physical mind and a non-physical mind. So imagine the physical mind represents your brain, okay? Your physical mind is your brain. The non-physical mind, when you close your eyes and you hear that voice in your head and you've got thoughts and feelings and beliefs, that's all part of that non-physical. You can't catch a thought and put it in a jar, right? Can you imagine if you could catch people's thoughts and put them in jars? That's so funny. You go to the gift shop. Oh, I'm going to purchase a jar of thoughts today. And you open it. It's like, hello, are you all right? That'd be good. Imagine if I could box my thoughts and send them off to you guys. So we have a physical brain and a non-physical brain. We then have a physical heart. Physical heart, that's what keeps us going. That's where the life force keeps pumping, helping us pump blood around our body, helping us keep us alive. That life force is what gives us breath in our body. That life force is what is giving us literal life, okay? We also have the non-physical heart, and that's how I see the soul. You know, when you talk about your soul, I like to say that's your non-physical heart, okay? This is my interpretation of how I see things, so that it really helps me to really visualize and connect. So your soul has been around for many, many lives. Your soul, you know, when you hear someone's a wise soul or an old soul, that soul has wisdom. It's been through stuff before. And when your invisible consciousness decides to merge with your physical body in a little bucket, that soul part of you continues to live on and brings the wisdom of that life, okay? So when people say speak from your soul, feel from your heart, that is what they mean. Connect with that non-physical part of you. Why? Because the physical part of you has to learn how to be a human in the physical world. I'm doing this because I talk about humanoids. Eat, sleep, shit, repeat, go to jobs, get a pension, go on a cruise, and die. Humanoid, okay? A humanoid to me is someone that is going through life like a robot, is completely disconnected from their non-physical self. They believe that they're here to be a human, to pay their taxes, and to die. And I know I'm being extreme on this, very extreme on this, but I need to illustrate to you that unfortunately, the way that our world is, it has been bred to keep us as humanoids, right? It is designed to keep us not believing in ourselves, designed to keep us small. And for those of you like, is it conspiracy? No, it's not a conspiracy, okay? But I want you to start waking up and looking around your world and realizing, wait a minute, why am I living the life that I am? Why do I believe the things that I do? And that is because we are indoctrinated to live these very samey lives as everybody else. You know, the minority break free from the norm. But I really truly believe that more than ever, you know, even just with COVID and people working from home and being with their families more, it's created this shift in like, wait a minute, why do we go to offices for 5 days a week, for 40 hours a week and not see our family? Do you see what I'm saying? So just even this kind of realization that we don't need to be humanoids, that we can create a life that is based on what we truly want. Like who the fuck invented the week and said that from Monday to Friday you work and Saturday and Sunday that you don't? Just take a moment to really think and ask yourself these questions. Take a moment and think, wait a minute, like who did decide this? Because someone decided it. Someone fucking decided that we would work for 5 days a week. Someone decided all of this stuff for us. And so I really want you to question everything. So then we come to talk about ourselves. We have two selves. Our social self, which we're going to call our ego. And we have our spiritual self, which I'm going to call your spiritual self. Let's keep it fucking easy. You can call it soul self or whatever you want it. Okay? So our ego is not the ego that is referred to in terms of the brain or Freudian ego. When I talk about ego, I'm referring to the spiritual version of it that a lot of people talk in this kind of industry about, and that is the ego that is man-made. It is the persona, the self that has been designed by you since childhood to be able to integrate in the physical world, right? It is basically the personality of your bucket. That is your ego, the personality of your bucket. But the personality of your soul, he or she wants something bigger. They want to, you know, dance in the stars and, I don't know, do ballet and be a Hollywood star and fly in jets and live on the beach and sip mojitos for breakfast. I don't know what your soul wants to do. But the point is the reason that we have so many issues in this world is that everyone is living through this ego, this man-made bucket personality, instead of realizing that we are part of this creative intelligence, that we as humans have the unique ability to use our imaginations. We're the only species that's got imagination to go ahead and create our own lives, okay? So just a quick recap. 2 bodies, physical, non-physical. 2 minds, physical, the brain, non-physical, all of those emotions and intangible feelings. Heart, physical, non-physical, soul and your actual heart, and self, ego, and soul, okay? And just to explain, this is my interpretation, this is how I like to explain it, because for me, for years and years, I really tried to make sense of all this stuff that I was learning, and I wanted to make it as simple as possible for you guys to understand and digest. I'm going to do a quick check-in before we dive into the last section of today's live with everyone in the comments box. How's everyone doing? Oh my God, we've almost been going for an hour already. Everyone is conforming to the ways of the world instead of being transformed. Yes, we've got to stop conforming and start realizing that we need to create. Instead of conforming, let's create. How? Instead of, conforming or creating. That's what we want to do. So I want to do a quick recce and a quick check-in. If you are enjoying today's session so far, can I just have a little bit of love? Yes, my human ego wants to feel you stroking it. Now, I want to make sure that you guys are enjoying today so far. Are you enjoying the session? Is this giving you some aha moments? Is it giving you some light bulbs? Are you starting to see things through a different lens? Thank you so much for all the love. I really appreciate it. Truly, yeah, awesome. Super conscious creator, yes. Awesome. Okay, so this is literally day one. We're already on day one, honey. We're almost done. Can you believe we've almost been on for a whole hour so far? We've still got a few more bits to cover though before we carry on. So, let me just have a little quick check-in. Ooh, 556. How many on Instagram? Sorry, Facebook, I'll have my face up here. Oh, awesome, 120. Awesome, lovely to see you guys. There's about 700 of you in total. So let's carry on. Let's carry on to the next bit. So I already explained that we can only see less than 1% of the light spectrum. And so what's happening every single day that we're going through our lives is our senses, our eyes, our ears, our touch, our mouth. We are basically, our organs, not our senses, our eyes, our ears, is decoding information from the outside world, sending that information to our brain, and our brain is simply decoding that information and creating the reality that we see in front of us, okay? So in order for us to be able to change our lives, we need to start becoming consciously aware of how we decode that information and the thoughts that we put out there into the physical world. So, one of the most important things we're going to be covering in tomorrow's session, which is all around goal setting, is being able to use our mind in a way of creation. Because for 99% of people, I'm completely just throwing out a fucking statistic, but it probably is like a huge amount. What's happening on a daily basis is we're reacting and responding to external stimuli instead of using our conscious mind to create. So I'm very excited because tomorrow we're going to be diving a little bit more into the conscious versus subconscious mind. And we're going to be talking about how we go and create from a space of creating thought instead of just decoding, reacting, responding. So I'm really excited about that. But to end today's session, I'm going to be talking you through now. One minute, my husband's Instagram. I just put the Instagram back on again. Sorry, Instagram timed out because his screen timeout came on. So I'm going to now cover you the 5 steps to the manifesting method, okay? So there's 5 steps to manifesting anything that you want. Tomorrow and the next day, I'm going to be covering step 1 and step 2 in depth. On Thursday, I'm going to be teaching you some manifestation hacks. I'm also going to be opening and inviting you to come join me in the JFDI Academy to continue if you want to learn the rest of the steps. I'm also going to do all the prizes on that day. And there's also going to be some little bonuses and exciting stuff that I'm going to be announced to you guys as well. But like I said before, I'm going to really dive deep and teach you 2 more steps after today. So you're going to have lots of incredible stuff to walk away with. So step number 1 of the manifesting method, the very first step, which we're going to dive deep into tomorrow, is knowing what you want. It's having a vision for your life. It's goal setting on mother effing steroids. It is doing it the right way, the soul way, the aligned way. Because most people, they set goals through the lens of ego. So tomorrow, we're going to look at goal setting. We're going to have another good session together. I'm going to get you to really do some amazing stuff. I'm actually going to teach you some stuff about activating your vision, etc. tomorrow as well. The next step, and this is where things really start to get interesting with manifestation, the law of attraction. And this is the step that most people do not teach when they and The Secret, for example, did not teach this. And this is so incredibly crucial. And we're going to be diving deep on this on Wednesday evening. But when we go to set a goal, we're like, I really want to manifest this amount of money. I'm going to use the law of attraction to help me do that. I'm going to use the law of, understand the law of vibration, all of that stuff to help me go and create this. But I can't. I want to manifest my soulmate, but oh, this is going to be hard. And what we want to do is we want to look for those buts. Because what those buts are counter intentions. They're limiting beliefs. And those beliefs have been created ever since you were just a little child by being the bucket in the physical world, okay? Because as being human beings, when we come into the physical world, what happens is we start to learn and experience things, and what happens is we create beliefs. So we literally create beliefs about everything in our life. We create beliefs about money, relationships, family, friendships, our body, eating. So whatever is going on in your life right now that you do not like, it is because you have been programmed to be who you are. So I want you to think about your physical body as hardware. And I want you to think about your non-physical body as software. If you were a computer, you've got the hardware and the software. Essentially what happens is your software programs you to be the human that you are today. If you do not like what you are seeing on the external screen of your life, that means you need to change the software. So imagine this. Imagine a tree grows. If you go outside your garden, you see the beautiful apple tree. You pull the apple off and you eat it. You're like, oh, I don't want apples, I want pears. What would you need to do? Well, that apple tree is not going to turn into a pear tree. You could sit there all fucking day wishing and hoping and visualizing that apple tree turns into a pear tree. But the only way that you change that tree is by planting a new seed and by letting that tree grow new roots, and those roots turning into a tree and pears growing off that tree. What we do as humans is we try to change our apples in the physical world. You cannot change apples in the physical world. You got to change at the root, which is why this is so important. You cannot attract what you want if at a core deep belief level, you do not believe that you are worthy. You do not really want what you want. So we're going to be going deep on this on day 3, okay? Step number 3, so you know what you want. You've started to become aware of all the belief systems underneath you. Then what's next? Well, then you've created a vacuum. So once you become aware of all the negative beliefs, you then create a vacuum. You need to reprogram yourself. Yes, guys, there's an absolutely incredible relatively new discovery in the world of neuroscience, which teaches us that we have something called neuroplasticity in our brain. What this means is that we can create new highways, new neurons, new ways of learning inside of our brain, because we are creatures of habit. We are creatures of repetition. So in order for us to step into the next level of our life, to really truly create that which we want, to make sure that we're vibrating at a subconscious level, we'll be talking about that more tomorrow, subconscious level, that we're vibrating and aligning with what we want, we need to reprogram our minds for success. Step 4 is what I call tuning into Universe FM. So step 4 and tuning into Universe FM is the art of mastering your vibration. It is the art of you understanding that you are a vibratory being, and everything you do in the physical world is creating a vibration in your body that is either attracting or repelling what you want. So we're going to talk about tuning into Universe FM. And tuning into Universe FM means choosing to lead a life through soul, not ego. Choosing not to be a douchebag, right? Choosing every single moment a new perspective, a new way of being. Tuning into Universe FM forces you, I believe, to become a better person. And I honestly, truly believe that I've become a master manifester because I choose to be the best version of myself that I can be. I choose to lead with love in everything that I try to do in this world. Doesn't mean that things don't piss me off sometimes. Doesn't mean that sometimes, I don't get upset or I get angry. But I promise you, that is that's the minority. And that doesn't mean, by the way, not allowing yourself to feel everything as a human. This isn't about faking positivity. This is about genuinely shifting your mindset and shifting the way that you behave and you act, so that you can be in alignment with that which you desire. And, for me, this is what I call tuning into Universe FM. Most people tune into shit FM. Oh my God, we're all gonna die. Weather's so shit. Oh, fucking blah, blah, blah has just gone and parked their car in front of me. Oh, did you see this person at work? Moan. right? That's what we are conditioned to freaking moan. So we've got to stop doing that. We are always looking for how someone is against us, or someone's trying to do us in, or, you know, someone's trying to cut us up on the motorway. Tuning into Universe FM is a conscious effort to be a better person, to show up in the most beautiful, best way in your life. Step number 5. So step number 1, let's do a recap. Step number 1, know what you want. Step number 2, understand what is stopping you. Number 3, reprogram yourself for success. Number 4, tune into Universe FM. And tuning into Universe FM is not linear. It is a way of fucking life. Step number 5, take inspired action on behalf of your dreams. So when we talked about the law of action earlier on as one of the universal laws, in order for us to create our dream life, we must take physical action in the physical world. This is where books like The Secret completely fucked it up for people, because I was in Sainsbury's with my scratch card, like, I'm gonna win, I'm gonna win, I'm gonna win. Didn't fucking win. And the reality is that in order for us to create that which we want in our life, we must take inspired action. We must tune into our intuition. We must trust the bridge of incidences. We must take action in spite of fear. We must step into the unknown and embrace it. And so when you can put all 5 of those steps together, in basically the manifesting method, that's what my manifesting method is, those 5 steps. And that is what I teach inside the JFDI Academy. That is what I help my clients to become masters at, to embody, to implement every freaking day of their life. They are thinking about these 5 steps, and are they tuned in? Are they dialed in? If you can live by these 5 steps, I can promise you your life is going to change in more ways than you'll ever realize. You will feel happier. You'll feel more joyful. You will be more aware. You will not be a humanoid. You will realize and take control over your life and realize that you have the power to create. So I'm going to leave you guys today with an incredible task that I am so excited to share with you guys. So I will be sharing everything with you guys at the end of this week. But I want to share with you guys a little task. This is your homework. So I'm really excited because whenever I do this with people, they get so excited because they get these signs from the universe and it makes them really happy. And so we're going to end today on this. And I would love you guys to, if you, I'm going to make a really silly face, screenshot and share with me on social media. Tag me on social media, but share with me when you got your sign so I can read and see who's getting their signs. So say, I've got my sign, I got my sign, I got my sign, and just tag me with this photo and let's share it on social media. Because then we're also getting people interested in like, oh, what do you mean a sign? And then hopefully we can get more people to wake up and tap in and tune into the universe. That's my goal. So everyone take a screenshot. And tag it with hashtag become the magnet, and tell me what your sign was or what your gift was. It's actually going to be a gift from the universe. So tag it with BTM or become the magnet and say, I got my gift. Sorry, it's not a sign, it's a gift from the universe. So are you guys ready to hear? Are you guys ready to hear your first task for this evening? And we're going to end tonight. I am so freaking wired. So here we're going to do for the gift. I want you to repeat after me. And I want you to, there's some rules to this. So you're going to ask the universe for a gift. And you're not going to expect a Lamborghini. Okay, I'm going to tell you what I got as my gift so you guys can see. You know, the gift is going to be an unexpected gift that is going to make you smile. And you're also going to get a deep little knowing, a little nudge in your stomach, a little gut feeling, an intuition nudge that this was the gift from the universe. So you're just going to kind of know when you've got it, okay? So you're going to repeat after me. Right, dear universe, I want you to prove to me that you are listening to me, that we are connected, that we are one. I want you to give me a gift in the next 24 hours. I will look for the gift. I expect the gift, and I am grateful for the gift. You've got 24 hours to give me a gift. Thank you, universe. Show me that you exist. Show me that this Noor girl is telling me the truth, okay? So, And I will share tomorrow on lives when you tag me when you got your gifts as well, who got what, and it'll be really exciting for everyone else. Because sometimes we like to see that it worked for other people. Because so here's the rules. You have to expect this gift. You have to look out for this gift. You cannot have one fucking ounce of doubt that this gift is going to come. I don't care if you're not quite convinced the law of attraction works or manifestation works. This is about you realizing that you are connected to the universe. You're going to get a little gift. So I want to just share with you guys what my gift was years ago. So you understand not to expect a Lamborghini on your front drive, okay? Although if you do get that, that would be really, really, really brilliant. But when I did this for the first time years ago, and this is a task that I read about in a book called E Squared by Pam Grout. I think it's E Squared. And I remember when I did this years and years ago, I got my husband to do it because he was a massive skeptic. My husband was an absolutely massive skeptic. So you guys can, by the way, just like use your own lingo. I don't care. You don't have to like literally word for word say what I've said. You're just pretty much in your own words asking the universe for a gift to give it to you within 24 hours and to let you know that the gift is from the universe with like a nudge or a gut feeling, okay? So literally, it doesn't matter how you say it. It really doesn't. You're just asking for it. It really doesn't matter. I was just putting on a performance for you guys because if you didn't know, guys, when I was a child, I wanted to be in Broadway. I wanted to be on theatre. I don't know why, because I'd be absolutely awful at it, wouldn't I? My gift years ago was, I did this exact task with my husband. We went upstairs. I went upstairs and got into bed literally 10 minutes later. And I got into my bed and I wanted to listen to an audiobook. And I realised I'd left my headphones in the car. And I was like, that's really, really, really annoying. And you know, when you're just really ready to read a book and listen to a book. So I said to my husband, like, do you have any headphones? He said, no. And I was contemplating getting out of bed, going downstairs and going into the car to get my headphones. And literally a second later, my daughter at the time, she was only 2 years old, okay? She was only 2 years old. She was lying next to me and she got up, got out of bed. I was like, where are you going, Safi? Where are you going? And she just toddled around the side of my bedside table, opened up my bedside table and pulled out a pair of headphones. I was like, what the actual fuck? And you know, like, I actually knew in my heart, I was like, I knew that was my gift. And I was laughing to myself because I literally had no clue that I had headphones in there. And last thing I expected was my 2-year-old to get out of bed and go and get me my headphones. So then my husband the next day, he literally went, no. I went, yeah. He went, you're never going to fucking believe what I've just found. I said, what? He went, do you know the remote that's been lost for literally 8 weeks? He went, it was just there on the sofa. And I looked at him and I went, fucking universe, you know. And it's so funny because after that, he didn't really believe in the universe still. But I can absolutely guarantee you that he has watched my life change so dramatically that he literally is like manifested that, and completely believes in it now. Even though his mind still can't quite conceive it or has ever studied it to the level that I have, he does truly believe in it now because he's seen me say, okay, let me share another story with you. So years ago, I got on my podcast and I said to everyone, I'm going to manifest meeting Russell Brand. I was like, I'm going to manifest meeting Russell Brand. And so I kind of shared this story on the podcast of how I was going to manifest meeting him. And about 4 weeks later, I got invited to speak at an event with Fern Cotton, which was just an incredible opportunity. And then whilst I was invited to speak with Fern Cotton, it took me to like another page that said, oh, there's a festival she's doing. So it's like, you know what? I'm going to go to her festival. So I go to book tickets to this festival and I get the program through and I see on the program, it says, Russell Brand is speaking. And I was like, oh my God, I am now officially going to be in the same vicinity as Russell Brand. And I'm like, I go to watch him speak. I'm sat right at the first 3 rows. I'm literally living my best life because I literally loved watching him. And then I literally was like, he was in the VIP section. I had no chance, right? And so I walked off and took my girls to go and do some like clay modelling or plasticine making or something it was at this children's tent. So my kids are sat down, I'm speaking to the lady and I'm speaking to the lady, and then I kind of walk off and I've got the pram in my arm. I turn around and I see Russell Brand walking towards me, right? And then he comes to go past me and, sorry love, can I get past please? And I realised the whole time I've been speaking to Russell Brand's wife, and I did meet Russell Brand and I talked to him. No, it wasn't quite the manifestation that I'd hoped, and we're going to cover tomorrow where I went wrong with that manifestation. But I absolutely did meet him, did speak to him, was chatting to his wife. His wife, in fact, actually messaged me on Instagram afterwards after I shared some photos. And Russell Brand's daughter started a fight with my daughter in the kids' play area. So later on, she started a little fight. So anyways, massive love from me, guys. Thank you so much for joining. Don't forget to tag me and let me know what your gifts were from the universe. I'll be back tomorrow evening, same time, same place. I hope that you have thoroughly enjoyed this evening. I really loved being here with you. I've got so much more to cover with you over the next couple of days. So massive love from me. Catch up with you guys tomorrow for day 2 of Become the Magnet training. From my heart to yours, good night, good evening, and take care. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Think It, Get It podcast. I'm truly honoured that you take the time out to listen to me, to grow your soul, get inspired and motivated. As a thank you for being a listener, I'd love to give you a gift, a morning manifestation meditation that is super powerful and will help you truly be able to take your thoughts and turn them into things. If you head to bit.ly/manifesting gift, simply input your email and we'll deliver you the meditation. And of course, if you haven't already, please leave us a review if you've loved listening to this podcast. See you soon.